Yeah, yes.
All right, great. So till now we have learned the graphic design part of Adobe XD. Now comes the most interesting part where we will be learning how to link different pages and create our project. So let's see. Just a second. Let me open the software. All right. So in this example, I can see the login page is there, the login artboard is there. Then we have some uh, instructor details which can be viewed when we click on the instructor, basically the image of the instructor or maybe the name of the instructor. After that, we can come on this instructor detail maybe. So these all basic prototyping I'm going to create in this particular session. So first of all, we are done with the design part. So we will switch from the design mode to the prototype mode. You can use the shortcut key or you can use the uh, tab over here. Okay. Now you can see in the prototype mode also you have the document assets with you, right? But there are no design tools available. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so basically what happens in the prototype, when we are creating a prototype, it needs to be an interactive design, then only it is going to be called as prototype. So we will be creating the links between the pages, and these links will be called as your wires, or you can say, yeah, the wires will be there. So I'm just going to show you that also. So we will do that. And before that, I want to show you that designing part of the uh, Adobe XD is not possible when you are in the prototype mode. But since I have already created the components, I can anytime drag and drop those components to be added in my design in the prototype version as well. I can move the elements that are there on the screen, delete the ones which are existing. So these all things I can do in my prototype mode. I can copy paste the elements which are there on the screen. Okay, this I can do. But when we talk about creating a new component or a design, that cannot be done in the prototype mode. All right. I hope it is clear.
Yes.
Now let's see how to view a single page. So first of all, I have not selected anything in my uh, workspace. And if I click on the play button, the desktop preview mode will open up. And by default, the artboard which is there on the top left corner is shown as your first screen. Now let me show you one example of it. Suppose I have shifted this artboard over here. This time if I click on the play button, can you see the login screen got opened up?
Okay, understand.
So if you want to specify that this is my home page, I want this to open up whenever the preview is played or whenever the prototype is tested. Can you see this a small home icon next to the artboard?
Yes, I can.
You can click on it to create the artboard as your home page. Now, even if nothing is selected, if I click on the play, it's going to show me the home screen. Okay. In case you have not specified which one is your home screen, by default, the top left corner artboard will be selected as your home screen. But if you have specified this is your home screen, then that particular screen is going to be shown as your home screen. Okay. Was about how to create your home screens. Now I'll just do one thing, organize the artboards fully distanced. So in the design mode, you can even distance the artboards properly. Okay, so I've just done that. And now in the prototype mode, suppose I want to make a connection from this login button to my login page. So how to do that? When I click on the login button, can you see this arrow which is coming up?
Yeah.
You just need to drag, the wire is going to appear, and you need to drop it on the artboard where you want the person to navigate to. So once this is done, the connection will be made. And if I click on the play button, I click on login, now I am taken to the login page. But right now there is not much transition effects. The default transition effects are there. So when you create the connection, when you connect the wire to any of your artboards, that is how the application is going to interact. Okay. I hope this part is clear. Any confusion in this?
No, it's all right.
Okay. Now, one more thing, if I want to connect the artboard, one artboard to another, that can also be done. You can just click on the name of the artboard and connect it to any other artboard on your page, on your workspace. Okay. But if I have to make a connection from a button to another button or design element on any other artboard, that won't be possible. You can see if I try to add one more link, if I try to connect it within the page, this I can do. And you can see there is a thunderbolt which has occurred over here in this area. But if I try to connect it to some other element on different artboards, it's not going to happen. Can you see that? It's selecting the complete artboard only, not the element.
Yeah, but why did I put it on the same page? What action it will do?
Let me show you what is the use of the same page. So I have this complete design over here. Now I'm going to just copy this once, change the arrow to something else, the text. Okay, I cannot change the text in the prototype mode right now. So consider this is the move to top button. Okay.
Okay, yeah. And it can also highlight some specific text like this.
Yeah, you can highlight some specific text also like this one. Anything can be connected. Any element on the page can be connected to either another artboard or an element within that page, or yeah, these are the only two options where you can make the connection. Okay, artboard to artboard can be linked, element to artboard can be done, element to element within that artboard can be done, but element to another element on the any other artboard cannot be done. Okay, so if I show you the example of how this is going to work, just notice what will happen. I have selected the artboard. Now, if I click on preview, I can see the preview of this artboard. And if I scroll down and click on this button, can you see it did something similar to move to top, right?
Yeah, yeah, I see.
So when you have a very big website or when the scrolling area is very huge, people often want one single click to move to the top of the screen, right? So in that case, it would be helpful. I believe you have understood how to create the connections, right?
Yeah, simple.
Okay. Now let us understand the different trigger options, action that is going to take place when you trigger that event, and what other things are there in this particular prototype mode. Okay, so let me first show you the example of this. This bar, suppose there is something like the menu bar. You want this to be fixed. You don't want it to move even when the scrolling is done. So you can fix the scrolling. Okay, so the top menu is usually always fixed, right? So you can see it's fixed at its location, right? So this is just
Yeah,
an
yeah, I see.
example. Yeah, you can fix the position of the top bar also. This also can be fixed. You can make the multiple selections and fix the position. All right, so every time it would be pinned to the top of the page, both the elements. So this was one basic utilization of the scrolling. Now coming to the transition effects and the trigger option. So how you interact with your button is specified over here. So the trigger is basically whether you want the button to work when you tap it, when you drag the button, then it should work. Like the scrolling bars, they need to be dragged, right? So for that, the trigger will be dragged. Keys or gamepad, if you select the key and gamepad, you have to specify which key. You have to assign one key for that action. Voice, if you want the voice command, suppose. So if I want the enter command to be used, in that case, hold down the space bar while speaking to use voice command. Okay. Enter. Did you see how it worked?
Yeah. Well,
So you have to use these options to trigger your event. By default, tap is the one which is the trigger event. Other events also can be utilized. I'm going to use the trigger event tap. Then we have the action. This is basically where you specify how the transition effect or the animation is going to take place. So type, you want to transition, you want to auto animate, you want to create a hyperlink. When you create a hyperlink, this is not going to be linked to any artboard. You can see the connection to the artboard just broke off. Can you see that?
yeah, and it will require a URL to
Yes.
redirect you to.
Yes. So basically your social media icons can use the hyperlink option, right? So you can utilize hyperlink for the transition. You need to link it to some other artboard on the project. And apart from that, you have the overlay. We will be discussing this. Scroll to and previous artboard is basically when you want the option of back button. You want to go back to where you came from. So in that case, previous artboard can be used. Audio playback, speech playback. So these all options are there. So if you want to play an audio file, you can select the audio file. If you want a speech playback is basically the speech which is there inside the, I mean, it is going to be an automated speech. So you can select a voice and you can type in the text you want to say. Like Siri will, just like in case of Siri, it responds to you, right? So that kind of a response you can create on the tap of or on the voice command. Okay. So a voice Kendra will say, how are you today? That is what I have specified this time. Let's see. I did some mistake over here. The trigger is voice. Hey Siri, play speech playback. Kendra. Okay. Siri. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but I could hear the voice of how are you today. Were you able to hear it?
No, it didn't play on my side.
Okay. I guess the system sounds are not being shared while sharing the screen. Let me check if we can do that, or maybe you can try this option on your side and see
Yeah,
how
I
it
will
works,
try
right?
it.
Yeah, so do try these options. And apart from that, so basically you can create a voice model or you can create your simple tap version of the product. And in this, we also have the option of overlay and many other options are there. We are going to focus on the transition first. So I'm just going to connect it back to the artboard that we want. So in the transition, you can select what page you are going to go to. So the artboards are there. You can either connect it to the artboard directly or select the artboard name from the list. Okay. So these are the two options by which you can make the connection. After that, what animation effect you want? You want it to dissolve, you want to slide left, slide right. So these all effects are also there. Okay. So maybe I want slide up or slide down. Now, after the animation effect, there are easing effects also, which we have. So ease out, ease in out, snap, wind up, bounce. These are basically the within the transition, the time frame which is there while going from one screen to another. The starting of the transition and ending of the transition, we have the easing phase. Okay. So if I give bounce over here, you can specify the duration, maybe 1 second. Let's see what will happen. Okay. So I'll just tap on the login screen. Can you see how the bounce effect took place along with slide down?
It slided only from top to down.
Just go back to the uh, home screen. So you can use the arrow keys to scroll to the screens in the preview mode. Okay. This is the login page. Again, if I see the same thing, slide down and bounce
Yeah,
effect.
yeah, yeah, I saw it. No.
Okay. Let's change this. Let's make it slide or maybe push down. And first, let's see what's the difference between push and slide. Okay. So this time, slide was instant. If you notice, the slide was very quick. With the same timing and everything, push is something which is taking time, or it is like you are pushing a box, a heavy box. It was something like that. The effect was something like that. Did you notice that? See once again. So slide and push are almost similar. It's just the timing varies a bit, or there's a
Okay.
very minor change in those two. Okay, so you can use either of these effects, and you can even use dissolve. You can choose ease in out instead of bounce. So this is how ease in out will work along with dissolve. It's a natural way of transition that we use, right? So these are the different transition effects. These are your trigger effects. And then you have the easing effects and the duration for those. Okay. So try out these options first. Once you have done the linking of the artboard and applied the effect, let me know. We will continue with the next concept, that is creating an overlay menu. All right. So first I want you
Okay.
to try this out.
I know.
Yeah.
So I will share. It's this one. When I click on the setting button, it will
All
do like
right.
this. And contact us will open google.com
Mhm.
and the back button.
All right. Okay,
Okay.
so back button, what option you have used? Have you used previous artboard or have you used the
Well,
proper link?
previous artwork.
All right, that's great. So, yeah, I think you might have even gone through the transition effects and uh, other options as well, right?
Yeah, I selected the slide left instead of the other one.
Okay. So, till now, I don't think there is any issue, right?
Hmm?
Till now, there is no issue with the whatever
Nice.
you have done. Okay, so
Hmm.
now I'm going to continue with this only, and I'll be showing you how you can utilize your previous artboard option to create the back buttons in all the pages, basically. So,
Okay.
yeah, so we have seen the fixed area, like how to fix the scrolling and create the menu bar. Now I'm going to show you for the back button, there is one more way or one more thing that you can apply. Okay. So first of all, I'm just going to create a back button. So for proper rotation, I've just utilized that and to use the fill color, same in the border. Now let's go to the prototype mode. Once the design is created, you can see I cannot even resize this in the prototype mode. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create the desk uh, as previous artboard. Okay. Now there is one easy method. You can just copy and paste back button all your pages. Right now, the size of my back button is too big, so I cannot adjust it on all my pages. But yeah, you can place it and you can see the transaction that I have used, the transition effect that I have used is applied automatically to this one also. So this way you can create the back button and the cross option. If you want to close the window and show the previous window, in that also the same thing can be done. So you can even copy the uh, interaction and paste it. So suppose there is a cross button in which I want the same thing. I want the back option to be enabled in the cross button also. But instead of specifying it properly, I'm just taking a rough example of the cross. Okay. So in the prototype mode, you can even paste the fractions. So you will see the back option is applied to this also. This is one more way of copying the interactions. And let's see how this is going to work. We'll continue with this artboard. And yeah. Also in the preview mode, when you are making any changes, those changes can be viewed live in your preview window as well. So the preview window is there and you can see the changes whenever you're making any selection. If I click on the back button, this is how I'm going to the back page. Okay, and if I click on continue, so the previous artboard, this is the benefit of the previous artboard. I don't need to specify every time that this is the back button. Just one back button needs to be created, one cross button needs to be created. And using that, you can just copy and paste or press the Alt and drag it to your other artboards. And the same function will be applied to all these, right? So that way your work becomes easier. And apart from this, what else can we achieve using the prototyping? So let me just show you one example again of how you can create an overlay menu using the prototype option. So you can see this project. I have created one menu bar, and what I want this menu to be viewed when I click on the menu icon over here. What I'm going to do is, first of all, I need to change the size of the artboard. So suppose you want this menu to appear when you click on the menu bar icon. So in the prototype mode, I'm going to make the selection, link it to the overlay artboard. So I have created a new artboard for my menu. You can see this is an artboard, but the size of the artboard is just the same as the menu bar because I want it to drop down from here as it is. Now, how to apply that effect? In the transition, use overlay. When you choose the overlay option, can you see this green box which appeared on the screen? This one.
Yeah, I see.
So this is going to tell you where you want the artboard to appear on the screen. So you can select that location, and since the size of it would be the same as the size of the artboard. Okay. So you have placed your artboard where you want it when you trigger the event. After that, destination is given, and then you can choose the option of animation, whether it's slide down or dissolve or whatever animation you want. Okay. After that, ease in, ease out options. So all these things can be specified. The duration can be specified. And when you test it, this is how it is going to appear. Okay. So this way, not only you can create the overlay menus, you can also create some boxes, modal boxes like information boxes to view information of a product. Suppose this is need a surfboard. This is the information that I want on one of the screen when I click on the continue options or contribute. Okay. So how to achieve this? First of all, let's see how we can do that. In the prototype mode, if I click on continue, right now you can see the connection is not being made. Can you tell me why? Why I'm not being able to connect it?
Because maybe it's linking to artboard and this is not an artboard.
Yes. So first, I need to create an artboard of the same size, or maybe you can choose the size of the artboard as per your requirement, how much you want to overlay. So in this, I can see the size, width and height of my artwork is 341 by 471. Now I'm going to create an artboard, a custom artboard by drag and drop. Okay, so I'm going to keep it as 350 by 500. Purposefully, I have kept it larger than the art size because I want maybe some background blur or something on the overlay. So I just select the fill color and yeah, I can keep it transparent. So this is my artboard. Okay. After creating this, if I want this to be transparent, then I can choose that. All right. So the effect is all your choice. What kind of modal box you want. You want a background blur and an image in the artboard. So that all designing part you can do. Then coming to the prototype, again, the same method can be applied for viewing any offer also. You can just link this to your artboard and then overlay. So this is how you can make the offer appear. And did you notice in this, I'm not being able to scroll it down. Can you tell me why?
Because it's a pop-up and it will be on the same position as uh, the current position of the user, right?
Basically, the reason is this artboard is a scrollable area, has a scrollable area, right? If I increase the scrollable area, now if I try to move my scroll, then I can do that. Because whatever pops up, it should be there in your viewport, right? It should be there in the viewing area. That's the reason. So the viewport size, whatever size is available, in that only you can make the pop-up. And let's see what will happen if we choose auto animate. In that case, what will happen? The destination is artboard 1. These out. You can see what happened. It just created the animation of the screen as it is, right? So overlay option is there to create the modal boxes or the menu boxes, and in the overlay you can even select the effect that you want. You can choose the dissolve effect to give it the option of that it is appearing on the screen. So these are the two things which you can apply. Auto animate is usually basically when you don't it is going to automatically connect to the other artboard and apply the effects. Okay, so these were all the options. I hope you have understood how you can create the menu bar and pop-ups in your screen now, right?
Yeah, of course.
So we have covered how to create the menu bar. We have covered how to fix the position of the header, how to move to the top button, how we can create that, how we can create the back button, and how we can apply it to all our artwork. So the basics of prototyping is all covered. Once this is done, then we can share our prototype in various manners. So I want you to try the menu option first, and after the break, we can check the share options. And that would be all for today. So try to create something. I mean, you can create 2-page prototype for now. I think that would work, right?
Okay.
Okay, so just try this option of overlay. And if you face any difficulty, do let me know. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
I have done some overlays. I will share it with you. So let's start. So the first one was when I click here, give it like this. Just an example.
All right.
The other one on the setting, if you click on send bulk reports, will give you like
I think
send.
I can see your window, but I cannot see any interactions as such. Uh,
Okay, wait.
yeah, now I can see your mouse. Yeah, yeah,
You can see this one.
yeah. So you can click on the preview and show me how it is going to work out. Yeah.
Okay, wait, maybe it will only share this screen. I'll open up again.
All right.
Okay, now it's okay, right?
Yeah, I can see now. Now it is visible. Yeah.
Okay, so the first one, uh,
Mm-hmm.
you click on here, just an example to just tell you
That's
delete
great.
this slide. Okay, and the other one here on the send bug report, if you click here, it will give you like sent,
Great.
and contact us will display the email.
That's great. Okay. So one more thing, just keeping this preview window open, can you see there is a record button on the top left corner?
This one?
Yes. Yeah. So if you want, you can even do recording of your prototype by using the Windows Gaming Record tool. And you can share the recording also as in MP4 format. The recording will be saved. So you can try that out as well. Now,
Okay,
what we will do, we'll take a break, the lunch break, and after the lunch, I'll tell you how you can share your prototype with the different team members. And for now, that is all for today. So
okay,
we'll do that. And if you want, you can practice whatever we have learned today, or if you want an early wrap up, we can do that. Right?
okay. We can do an early wrap up, but after we know how to share, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
definitely. So the sharing
okay,
of the prototype will be covered up today. And in tomorrow's lesson, we will learn about exporting assets and sharing design specs. So that would be
okay.
done.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so yeah, I'll set the timer for the lunch break and I'll see you after 1 hour. Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.